Alright fellas, we're back with our Pokemon Masters video. It's time for us to take a look here at Giovanni and Mewtwo with their new EX roll unlock, which is the Field EX roll. We also got a new lucky skill for him that I've not opted to teach because it's not that helpful. Mind Game's 9, it's decent for debuffing if that's your primary goal, but usually he's going to be your primary damage dealer. This guy is still not crazy good, like at least not anymore. This guy was cool. This guy was really good back on release, and then when he got his initial boosts back during the villain arc start, he was also really good, quite good at least. Could definitely substitute as a great ghost damage dealer, definitely good as a psychic damage dealer, great for free-to-play players. He's still quite good for free-to-play players as well, for like stadium stages, legendary arenas, and everything like that, but oftentimes you're not going to be using this guy in ultimate battles or anything like that. He does have access, having access to an EX roll being, well, strike field, he is going to be helpful for getting extra points in the battle rally as a new player. Not really going to be that good in terms of utility, so those like a lot of those good strike field characters that can like potion up like Akari can, or have damage reduction abilities, or apply support. Giovanni really can't do that. His only way to do that would probably be through Mind Game's 9 as a lucky skill. If that is helpful, that's cool, but other than that, nothing really too crazy. Anyway, yeah, so he's got Confusion, Psychic, Shadow Ball for his damaging options. Not crazy here, nothing really too crazy for his damage. He does also get Psy Strike upon Mega Evolution, which does less damage, or about the same, I guess, as Psychic, but the thing is it does damage based off physical defense, so you're honestly just going to be hitting harder with Psychic because of the special defense debuffs. I'm not sure why they designed Psy Strike to hit for slightly, like literally, what, 2 damage points more than Psychic? I don't know why they designed it like they did, but sure, I guess. Fair enough. Anyway, whatever. Psychic is just his best damaging move. And then his trainer move, which buffs his crit by 2 and his evasion by 1. This is not crazy, but there are a lot of supports in the game that can buff special attack, and that's all he really needs to get going, so it is good in that regard. And having that field EX roll does give him that field sync, right? And we take a look at his grid. This is the grid that we're rocking with him here. He's got Smarty Pants for his sync multipliers. He's got Crit Strike 3 for some more sync multipliers and also some DPS stuff, and a Brain Teaser for more power-ups the more enemy special defense is debuffed, as well as 2 nodes of Honor Roll, 2 on Psychic. This is why you want to run Mind Games on this guy, because even with 2 nodes of Honor Roll 2, which buffs his Psychic chance from 10% chance to debuff special defense to a 50% chance, he still doesn't like to do it, right? He's got a few other things in here like Weird Recovery, this is a pretty good tile to pick up in the legendary arenas, especially if you're going against like one of his better arenas he can face, like Terrakion or Uxie, given that he's able to do super effective damage in those stages. It does really help him there, in order to like help him survive those stages. He's got Shadow Ball Honor Roll 1 as well as some Gauge Refresh here. I believe Honor Roll 1 here on Shadow Ball like okay, because he's got a 20% chance right there. And that's mostly it for his grid. He's got a few other things, but nothing really too crazy or too notable. And that's Giovanni. So he's a decent free-to-play striker for players. The big thing with him is he does have good stats. I mean, 647 special attack is still really good, and this, I believe, is probably going to be over 700 at level 180, which we're not going to level 180 invest him, but, you know, point being you could. And also for newer players, maybe I would say these legendary arena pairs like Sycamore and Giovanni are going to be really good options in order to actually invest in earlier on, like get them to like level 160, level 170, something like that, maybe level 180 if they're really that helpful, maybe like Sycamore or Hop or something being supports. They could be really good, so, or at least viable options. Anyway, we got to get some good luck here to get this run to clear, because it's an off type stage, but Giovanni's going to like completely shred pretty much any on-type stage you do with him, like Psychic or Ghost, but there's none available in the stadium, which is primarily where you're going to use them, so we're just going to do off-type and hope the RNG goes our way, and if it doesn't, well, I'll just cut away, because that's what I love to do. So anyway, we also got to rely on special defense debuffs, and again, that 50% chance, Psychic, even though Psychic has 50% chance, doesn't like to proc a lot of times. That's my luck. That's what I deal with here, but yeah, see, no special, fucking bro, you really want a max nuke for this guy in this mode. Okay, well, that's fair, sure. Okay, so we actually made it to the point where Sycamore got to a sync move, Got his nice Geomancy off here. Also, this is going to kind of somewhat double, I guess, as a Sycamore showcase. This guy provides a lot of good buffs to your team, special attack, special defense, and speed, which is great for characters like Giovanni here, who cannot buff their special attack, and his sync move is valuable to go for being a support EX and also having the sprint EX roll, so it is some nice stuff. I think he's dead to that Sludge Bomb, but we're just going to... We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Maybe. Probably not. But we can hope, right? We can hope. Okay, that's... We're going to... Yeah, okay. That's fine. It's not really, but it's fine. Also, I would prefer blue be the target, but beggars can't be choosers by this point. Okay, so that's max special defense debuffs. This is Giovanni's full nuke, and of course, being a field character, he does have access to that field sync, so that's going to be setting Psychic Terrain on the sync move, so this is pretty much his full nuke, at least until we get, like, I guess I could use Psychic rebuff and stuff, but whatever. 27k, really good stuff. That's actually some really good damage. Doesn't KO the sides quite, but that's fine. And this is without debuffs on the sides, by the way. If we would have brought Lucian as like a partner or something, I'm just gonna let that fight go. That would have been really good wraps for Giovanni there. It's just end the stage. If we brought Lucian instead of blue, I honestly think it would have been potentially better. But yeah, there are the parameters. I mean, there you can probably build more efficient parameters than that, but whatever. That's life. So yeah, Giovanni, I mean, again, field helps him. It makes it so your setups are less limited, and it makes it so, you know, if you don't have a character like Bianca or I guess any Psychic Terrain setter, whoever the Psychic Field... Is there a Psychic Field setter for the damage challenge? I don't even know. I don't actually know. Who else? The Egg Espeon, I guess. You know, these free-to-play Psychic options. The Egg Espeon is event locked. You know, you can utilize literally just Giovanni's sync move. Right, he provides it all himself, and it's, you know, after that, after he uses his sync move, his damage is going to look a lot better, quite impressive, I would say, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Okay, but anyway, yeah, there is Giovanni's damage there. I guess we can take him into Yuxi if we want to see his Shadow Ball damage, which is not really buffed by his EX roll. But I mean, we can take a look anyway, or we could just go into Terrakion if we want to see on-type Psychic damage. I know that's what people like to see. Giovanni Psychic. His Psychic damage is going to be better than his Ghost, but his Ghost is about equal if you consider the different zones you can have. Just want to kind of put that out there. I don't know what's a good setup to bring for this guy. I mean, he does not need any crazy supportive options to be fine in here. I don't know. I'll build something and we'll see. All right, here we are against Terrakion. This is just a bad setup because it relies on 30% chances to flinch. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun here if you couldn't tell already. Anyway, go ahead, hope that we can land these flinches. It would be of major help right here if we could. I'm pretty sure I've got to end up fishing for a flinch here, or else it's not gonna be too good for us. Let's just say that it's gonna be a little bit rough. All right, please get a flinch somewhere in here. That'd be great. No flinch. Okay, we're gonna reset. Okay, well, I'll go ahead until we get the flinch somewhere in this part of the run. Okay, we actually did get the flinch. So this setup works just because Kanto theme skills, that is a lot of the crutch of this run. That sucks. That's actually not good. I am actually running the Mind Games 9 Lucky skill on Giovanni here, so we do actually have some stuff. Yeah, we actually have some special defense debuffs. It's a rare thing to see in this game to actually get like special defense debuffs, but we do actually have them this time, so it is very nice to see. We're gonna go ahead. Oh no, please flinch this. Please flinch. Uh-oh. Oh, they missed. Yes, that's the evasion buffs from Giovanni. Well, classic Giovanni helped. Okay, anyway. Giovanni does great damage here. His field sync should just straight up KO. This should be the end of this bar. Yep, 23k. Very, very strong. We're going to just shred through this bar as well without pretty much any issue. The endurance here, I did end up grading Giovanni for it, so it did actually help for these runs. The weird recovery as well, giving him extra HP recovery allows him to not have to go down to endurance, at least not as quick. So that is also helpful. I'm going to try and stall these out. Okay, I can't stall them out. Ooh, boy. This is going to end up being close then. He's going to go for Calm Mind here. Damn, that is bad. I think that's a loss. I'm pretty sure that is a loss. Unless this doesn't proc endurance. No. Yeah, no, that's just a loss. Okay. That was close. We needed at least one more flinch in this entire run for this to actually have worked. But yeah, I mean, you can see his damage is really good there. That's nice. Cool. Okay, we got a little bit luckier here. At least I want to say we did. Bringing down to that proc sucks. We did get the panic button activated though, but we got Giovanni's sync move up a little bit earlier here. This might be a bit of a different outcome. We'll see. Okay. They're going to go for Swords Dance. That's crazy flinch. Nice. All right. And again, Giovanni really doing well here, of course, as always. And again, that weird recovery is carrying some weight here. It really is. It's doing a lot. One thing to keep in mind, I do need special defense debuffs, so we don't want to KO too early here. Like, we got to be a little bit extra preservative. Wow, we are landing these flinches. It is actually, that's absurd. But I think that's a win, though. I think no matter what happens here, that is a win. I think we are good. All right, and one more Psychic with Giovanni, and this bar is gone. All right, that Giovanni's gone, but that's fine, because Giovanni here still has endurance, so we are going to win. Even if I somehow didn't manage to queue up that sync move, this is still a win. And if he fails the sync crit, it's going to be rough, but I think this is, like, most of this is, like, I believe 95-ish%. Let's see. No, just KO. Okay, 43k. There we go. Yeah, I mean, again, Giovanni does very good on-type damage. So those stages like Uxie and Terrakion are not going to be an issue, assuming you bring, you know, the appropriate gimmick checks to them. Uxie being a character that needs, or a Pokemon that needs stats conditions and status changes. Giovanni cannot provide either of those, but there are some decent allies that can, and Giovanni's going to do great damage to shred through a lot of the HP bars for these stages. But anyway, yeah. Not a bad character. Definitely not. Definitely solid enough for new players to get some good damage out of. Stadium is what a lot of players are going to be kind of like trying to focus on instead of like ultimate battles and stuff. You know, get those free those easy, quote easy rewards. You know, get those champion spirits, those 5-star power-ups to actually invest in characters, and of course the battle rally as well. Giovanni's going to be good, at least for those lower floors. He'll definitely be a competent enough damage dealer. Problem is that he is. If it's a field strike situation, it's not bad because field characters have the ability to select who they use their trainer move on. But thing is, Giovanni's trainer move, you know, he only buffs crit, so he needs special attack buffs. Which if you're doing a full special field, strike field roll or rally, then you're probably not going to have a character that can do that supportive ability again, unless you actually select who to use that field trainer move upon and you actually use on Giovanni, but oftentimes that is not really the best thing to do. But anyway, regardless, Giovanni is definitely not too bad of a damage dealer, and that's kind of my thoughts on him, and that's I guess a showcase of all the things he buffed. He got the field EX roll, obviously very good for Terrakion and very good for making his sync damage a lot more explosive without having to run another psychic terrain setter. And Mind Games 9 was decent for some of those more short-term gains and overall power running it over Critical Strike 2. Though there are still some good use cases for abilities like Vigilance or maybe like Stoic or something, you know, stuff like that could end up being helpful. And again, him actually now having access to Weird Recovery on his own completely is good for some HP recovery in some situations. And yeah, I think that was a good showing of it all and all of his abilities. So yeah, let me know what you think about Giovanni down in the comments below, and I'll see you later, and hope you all enjoyed. Peace.